You never listen to me, Daniel. Maya's voice cracked as it echoed off the living room walls. Her eyes were wide, brimming with tears, her hands trembling, not out of fear, but fury. The kind of fury that's been building for years, quiet, heavy, tucked behind every "I'm fine" and every forced smile at dinner parties. Daniel didn't even flinch. He stood there, arms folded, the remote in one hand, the same tired look on his face, the look that said, "You're overreacting again." "Oh, here we go again," he muttered. "Another emotional breakdown. What is it this time, Maya? That I came home late? That I didn't text you back? Or maybe you're just mad that life isn't some fairy tale?" She stared at him, stunned, not because of what he said. She was used to that tone by now, but because she couldn't recognize the man standing in front of her anymore. "You used to see me," she said quietly. "Do you remember that? You used to ask about my day. You used to care. Now, I feel like a ghost in this house." Daniel laughed, laughed and laughed. "A ghost? Maya, you've got a roof over your head, a nanny, a car, your little side hustle. What more do you want from me?" Maya blinked. Side hustle? She had built that online business from scratch, raised two kids, kept their home running, smiled through his late nights and long silences, and he called it a side hustle. It hit her then. She was married to a man who didn't see her, not really, not the woman she had become, not the battles she fought silently. "I want me back," she said, her voice steady now. Daniel shrugged. "Then maybe you should go find her, because I don't have time for this." And just like that, he walked out of the room. No apology, no fight, just silence. Maya stood there for a full minute. Then she turned, walked to the bedroom, opened the closet and grabbed a small suitcase. This wasn't a movie scene. There were no tears running dramatically down her face, just a woman who had finally run out of reasons to stay. She packed slowly, deliberately. She didn't take everything, just enough to say, "I'm serious." Clothes, her laptop, her journals, the photo of her kiss at the beach, back when things still felt whole. She left the ring on the dresser. Behold, she stepped out, or before she stepped out, she looked around one last time. This house had been her whole world, but somewhere along the line it had become a prison. And tonight, she was choosing to escape. She didn't know where she was going. She didn't know how she would pay for everything. She didn't even know if she could do it. But what she did know was that staying would destroy her, and no man, no marriage, no illusion of stability was worth that. As she stepped outside, the night air hit her like a wave, cold, sharp, honest. Her phone buzzed. A text from her mom: "You can come here if you need to." Maya took a deep breath. This wasn't the end, it was just the beginning. Maya sat in her mother's guest room at 2:14 a.m. No makeup, hair is in loose bun, hoodie too big, socks mismatched, eyes glued to the ceiling fan that kept turning like thoughts. She hadn't cried yet, and that scared her, because the tears, they would mean it was real. Her phone lay beside her, screen face down, untouched. Daniel hadn't called. Not once, not even to ask where she went. Was that freedom? Or was it proof? Proof that she had been living in a one-sided marriage for a long time. The kids were with her sister for the weekend just to give her space. Maya had told them, "Mommy needs a little break," but what she really needs was a whole new life. She crawled deeper into the sheets and whispered to herself, "What now?" The job she left behind when she had her second baby, gone. The business she was building, paused. Her savings, enough for maybe 3 months. Everything felt uncertain, but for the first time in years, she didn't feel small. She felt awake. The next morning, she made her mother's kitchen her new war room. Laptop open, coffee strong, hair wrapped, determined. She started listing everything she had, not what she lost, what she had. Her voice, her experience, her gifts with words, her grit, and a heart that still knew how to dream. She rebranded her business, posted her first "I'm back" video. It wasn't polished, but it was real. "Hi, I'm Maya," she said, eyes to the camera. "I'm a mom of two, freshly divorced, and figuring life out one step at a time. If you've ever had to rebuild from scratch, this space is for you." She didn't try to be perfect. She was raw, relatable, and real. And just like that, comments started rolling in. "Girl, same. Thank you for this. I needed to hear this today." Maya had found something Daniel never gave her, a community. That week, she booked her first client again. Small gig, $150, but it felt like $15,000. Because it meant she could still rise. Each day she woke up with a little more clarity. Each night she went to sleep with a little more peace. She was still scared, still healing, still unsure of what the next chapter would look like. But she was moving, and movement meant momentum. People think healing after divorce is just about finding love again, but no, sometimes it's about finding yourself again. And Maya, she was just getting started. Maya wasn't trying to go viral. She was just telling the truth. Raw, unfiltered, sometimes with tears in her eyes, sometimes with her son's toy truck rolling across the floor mid-video, but always real. She talked about the loneliness, the fear, the guilt, the freedom. And before she knew it, one of her reels hit 40,000 views. Then 1,000, then 100,000. Then her inbox started flooding. "Can you coach me? Can you help me launch my online business? You are literally saying everything I feel but can't put into words. I thought I was the only one." That video didn't just get views, it cracked something open. People weren't just watching, they were connecting. Maya was no longer the woman who walked away. She was the woman who was walking through it and making it look possible. She upgraded her bedroom to a home office, got her kids back into a stable school routine, and for the first time in forever, her bills were paid on time by her. Not bad for someone who had been written off as just a housewife. She wasn't trying to prove anyone wrong anymore. She was simply proving herself right. Then it happened. A notification popped up while she was recording her podcast. "Daniel liked your video." Her heart dropped. She hadn't seen his name in weeks. He hadn't called, hadn't emailed, nothing. And now, this? A like? A quiet knock on the door of her new life. That night, he sent a message. You're really doing all this, huh? I didn't think you would make it, but you're killing it, Maya. Proud of you. Proud of her? Now? After all the nights she cried in that cold bed, after all the times he made her feel small, made her question her worth. Maya read the message 3 times, then deleted it. No anger, no hate, just closure. She wasn't the same woman anymore. The old Maya would have called him back, tried to explain, tried to feel seen. The new Maya, mm, she didn't need to be seen by him anymore. The world saw her now, and more importantly, she saw herself. That night, she posted a new video. Ladies, if he couldn't love you when you were silent, he doesn't get to applaud you when you find your voice. Clap for yourself. You are the show. The video exploded. One comment said, you just healed something in me I didn't know was still broken. And Maya smiled because she understood now. This wasn't just a comeback, it was a rebirth. Maya didn't see it coming. She wasn't looking for love. She was looking for peace, and she would finally find it in a long walk, late nights, journaling, and school runs where her kids laughed again. But life has a funny way of testing you, right? When you are finally learning to breathe, he came in through a comment, simple. Powerful message, Maya, your voice is rare. She clicked on his profile just out of curiosity. His name was Elijah, creative director, divorced to a father. His page was filled with poetry, design, and quiet strength. She ignored it, then he commented again a week later. That last video hit deep. You've got something special. Then came the DM. I don't want anything from you. I just want to say thank you for sharing your story. You gave me hope. That shouldn't have been it. But you know how it goes. One reply turns into a conversation becomes a voice note becomes a phone call. And before she knew it, she was smiling at her phone again. Elijah wasn't like Daniel. He didn't interrupt, didn't deflect, didn't make her feel like she had to shrink to fit into this world. He wanted her as she was, scars, strength, softness, all of it. They talked about co-parenting and also talked about the struggles involved. Starting over at 30 plus and healing from wounds no one could see. And just like that, he asked her out. Not dinner, not drinks, a bookstore, then a walk, then coffee, then silence. The kind that didn't feel awkward, it felt safe. But Maya froze because this time it wasn't Daniel stopping her, it was her. What if I get hurt again? What if I fall for someone who is just wearing a better mask? What if I lose myself again? She told Elijah the truth. I'm not ready. And he said something that stayed with her. You don't have to be. I'll still be here, whether you're ready or not. Later or never. Now or never. You don't owe me love. You owe yourself time. Maya cried that night, not because she was sad, but because someone finally gave her permission not to rush her healing. It was the first time in her life that Love didn't come with pressure. So she focused on her kids, her work, her healing. And Elijah, he stayed, not to chase her, but to witness her. The world kept clapping, her brand was growing. More women joined her coaching program. She got invited to speak at the first event. And in the middle of all the growth, she realized something. Love doesn't always have to be loud. Sometimes it's quiet, patient, respectful. Sometimes it knocks and waits to be continued, and love always stay to watch you grow. It was a sunny Saturday afternoon. Maya stood in front of a small crowd, microphone in hand, heart thudding in her chest. Her name was on the event banner, From Broken to Bold, a journey of rebuilding. She had spoken on a few stages before, but this one was different. This time, her kids were in the audience. Her mother was there too, front row, holding back tears. And Elijah, he stood in the back, arms crossed, eyes locked on her, proud. Maya took a deep breath and smiled. 2 years ago, I left my marriage with nothing but my kids, my name, and a quiet whisper in my spirit that said, "Start over." People said I was crazy, that I would never make it, that I was selfish for choosing peace over a picture perfect home. She paused, scanning the room. But let me tell you something. Choosing yourself isn't selfish, it's sacred. The crowd clapped, some stood, a few women cried openly. I didn't have a roadmap, I didn't have a savings plan, I didn't even have confidence at first, but I had a choice, and I chose me. She looked at her kids who were now smiling wide. I wanted them to grow up in a home filled with laughter, not tension, with hugs, not apologies, with love, not silence. Her voice broke for a moment, but she didn't stop. I started with 7 views on a video. Now it's built, and I've built it as a business that helps women rise. I went from crying in a guest room to crying happy tears on stages like this. Another round of applause. And love, it came when I least expected it, but this time I loved myself first. She glanced at Elijah, whose eyes said everything she needed to hear. I'm not perfect. I still have hard days. I still question things, but I no longer question me. I am the woman I used to pray to become, strong, soft, whole, and free. The crowd rose, a standing ovation. That night, Maya sat on her balcony alone, wrapped in a throw blanket, sipping tea, looking at the stars. She wasn't chasing anything anymore. Not love, not approval, not validation. She had rebuilt her life not just brick by brick, but truth by truth. She had lost a marriage but gained a mission, and now she lived each day not as someone who had been left behind, but as someone who had come home to herself. Maya smiled because this wasn't just a new chapter, it was her own book now. And baby, she was the author. She was the author of her life. She chose to make it. She chose to leave behind all the worries. She chose herself first, and people came to love her the way she is. If you love the story, please like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much.